Okay, good glorious morning, everybody. It's Saturday morning in the royal household here, and I know it's been a long time since I made a video about too much of anything, but I'm going back to health. So I'm gonna say that it's reported that Hippocrates said, "Let your food be your medicine." And with some personal health issues that I've had recently, I'm taking that totally literally as it was meant to be, because in the time of Hippocrates, we didn't have like a bunch of hospitals with razor blades and they just cut stuff out of you. So, and I'm not in agreement of that process at all anyway. So today I'm just going to introduce a couple of things that I know will be reminders for some of you, and particularly to just empower that suggestion of let your food be your medicine. And for many of us, especially in this Western culture, that does mean changing, okay? So we're going to keep the changes simple, first of all. This is one thing that I have told you guys forever, okay? Warm water with lemon first thing in the morning when you get up. Now, because I have certain things that I'm working with, I'm adding some things to my lemon water. As a matter of fact, I'm using a recipe that incorporates a lot more than just the lemon. And I'll try to tell you what each thing is for. So you have the lemon, of course, and you've got vitamin C. A lot of times I will put a couple of lemons into the juicer, and what I have here, okay, is about 3 lemons that have been juiced. I take maybe half of the peel off, but I put the whole thing in the juicer. And then I can keep this for, I think, about 3 or 4 days. But I use it up pretty regularly. I will also add it to my carrot apple juice, because adding the lemon kind of helps to keep it, it's kind of like a preservative, so that it doesn't like turn all brown. Of course, I drink it pretty quick, and so it doesn't really get a chance to. So back to my recipe. When I'm using the lemons, I'm adding about, I use about 16 ounces of water, and the juice of 1 whole lemon. And normally, first thing in the morning, I'll use this. I'll squeeze it like this, okay? I won't use this for that. So, and then I'll have about 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I am using Celtic sea salt right now. You can use the Himalaya pink salt. I'm using that salt for the minerals. The Himalaya pink salt is reported to have about 84 minerals, okay? So, I'm reading labels on everything. I'm not putting anything into my mouth that is not resonant with my spirit, with everything that I'm trying to do for my health, okay? Okay, so water, lemon, the whole juice of 1 whole lemon, about 1/2 teaspoon, maybe 1/4 teaspoon. With the Celtic salt, I'm only using about 1/4 teaspoon. If I use the Himalayan salt, then I use about 1/2 teaspoon. 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. And I don't know why I don't have this over here. Pretty sure everybody knows about apple cider vinegar by now, okay? And of course it's with the mother and that kind of thing. And in this one, I've been using it quite some time. It doesn't mention that it has to be refrigerated or anything. So it's only me that's using it. So it lasts for a little while, but you can see quite likely it looks like stuff floating around in there, okay? Now with the mother, that mother is the fermented apples, okay? So which creates the vinegar and all this kind of stuff. I don't know how they process all this kind of stuff. You don't have to know. But that's why you get that with the mother part in there, and why when you shake it up, it looks a little bit funky. So we've got 16 ounces of water, half a teaspoon of salt, the juice of 1 lemon, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 1 teaspoon of cream of tartar. Okay. And you might be saying, cream of tartar? What's that for? Okay, well, that's what I said when I first heard it. And so I did my research and looked up what the deal is. Cream of tartar is a really good source of potassium. Okay, so that goes in my drink. And once again, I can use the juice of a lemon, or I can use the juice of a lime. Okay, so limes are cheaper. Of course, the organic ones are a lot harder to find. So use and choose organic every time you have the opportunity. Yeah, it costs a few pennies more, but hey, your health is worth it. Okay. What would you pay to go to the doctor to get a diagnosis? And right now, I can't even get to the doctor or get the test ordered and stuff like this. It's just not feasible for me. And stop and think, if you lived in a rural community, way back out in the country woods, and you couldn't get to a doctor, okay, how did people take care of themselves before they started running to the doctor? Or before we had Dr. Google. So, anyway. Okay, so that's that one. I don't know what to call it, but it's my first morning drink, okay? And I add, I didn't tell you, the recipe says a teaspoon of cream of tartar. I can get by with a half a teaspoon of cream of tartar, okay? Because I'm doing some other things as well, because I am working on a condition. Now, the other thing that I will do, and I'll just plug this in here, at night, because I've had some problems with nervous responses and anxiety and rapid heart rate and things like that, I need to calm down at night and to be able to get to sleep and rest a little bit better. And so magnesium is where that comes in. So your heart has 3 electrical components that are very, very important. Sodium, which I get from the Celtic sea salt. The potassium, which I get from the cream of tartar. And magnesium, which I get from a product called Calm. I'll show you this one too. Well, this one doesn't say Calm, but I got it from Walmart. It's about the same price as the Calm. I do have the Calm. But this one is, it says stress support. So what magnesium does is kind of goes in and just relaxes you. So I'll use about half a teaspoon of this at night with about 8 ounces of water. And you can use warm water or room temperature water, and it will settle you right down. Now, if you start taking it and 3 or 4 days into it, you've noticed that you've got more frequent bowel movements or even diarrhea, okay, back off of the amount. That's how I got down to half a teaspoonful, because I was taking it as it was prescribed before, and taking it as prescribed was like 2 teaspoons full. Well, I was taking like pretty close to 2 teaspoons full, and in about 3 days, I thought, that might be a little bit much for me. So I got a lot of response, because when you dissolve this in water, it becomes quite like the same component as magnesium citrate, okay? So it will have a laxative type of result. For the most part, most of us are so plugged up, we need to get some of the crap out so we can relax and sleep. So now another practice that I do is, and around here we pretty much eat our dinner about 6:30, no later than 7 o'clock. Mine is generally about 5 because I go to bed a little bit earlier and I raise up a little bit earlier. So now I'm going to introduce you to this darling. And it looks really, really beautiful to me, but maybe not to everybody. Okay, another thing that I do about 30 minutes, maybe an hour, depending on, I rarely eat much of a heavy breakfast unless I'm like really hungry, but I will juice a stalk of celery. I rinse it really well, put the celery in, juice that, and drink about at least an 8-ounce glass of it. And then what's left, I will add quite likely a whole lemon. I'll peel a little bit off. Normally a green apple. I haven't used this one today, but I did use a green apple when I was making this. And this one got kale. Yeah, I got like about 4 or 5 leaves of kale, and 1 small beetroot. That's what gives it the color. And I always share with my son. And this morning I noticed his face after he drank it, and I said, okay, sorry, but it'll help you. Once you start making dietary changes, and one of the things that I've done is I tell everybody all the time, no sugar, no dairy, no wheat. You will hear me say that forever and ever. One is refined sugar equates as poison to me. So I have completely gotten off of the sugar. I had switched over to the raw turbinado sugar, and then I started putting, like, during Christmas, I started putting like maybe a couple of peppermints in my coffee, and then I backed off of that. And now I usually make my coffee with almond milk, and if it's some coconut milk in there, or maybe 2 ounces or so of coconut water, which is sweet. And so I'm really, really off the sugar. So this doesn't taste as bad to me. I can taste the salty components from the celery, which is sodium, and I can taste the sweetness of the beet. Oh, and I did add one carrot. And I basically added it because my machine was acting up and it got stuck. And so I was like punching the carrot so it would go down, but then that gives us a little bit of sweetener, and 1 green apple. So, and now what am I using this for? Beets are going to help with cleansing the liver and good healthy blood cell production. Okay, the salt is, the celery is an absolute, I want to say cleanser. Okay, it's good for the cleansing of the system, along with the vitamins and nutrients that it gets from Mother Earth to replenish your body and give you, I think there's a little vitamin C, and there's some definitely sodium, because it almost tastes salty. Okay, the carrots, you know what carrots are? Beta carotene, and that's good for cleansing, blood production, and I just want to say overall health. Okay, I may give you more information if you want to call and get a consultation, and I can explain to you, or you can just Google it. What is beta carotene for? It's good for your eyes and good for your skin and all these other wonderful things. So this one is beetroot, carrot, green apple, and celery, and a little bit of kale. So, and I will consume this within 24 hours normally. I do plan to incorporate some solid food in my regimen today, which I think is going to be a little bit of steamed broccoli and a little bit of it's colored purple on the outside and it's white on the inside. It's a sweet potato or a yam, okay? I've just been wanting something and it tastes sweet, and you put some butter on it, and it's good for you. So I'm all about that health. So some of the things that I'm dealing with stem from a leaky gut. So I'm also making bone broth, and I'm drinking bone broth. That might be one of my AM things that I do, and then I'll have another cup or glass of it later. So twice a day I'm having the bone broth, okay, to help to heal my gut, okay? And you need to be Googling leaky gut to find out what causes it, what are the symptoms of it, and determine what you need or what you're willing to do about it. Let your food be your medicine. So these items are some of my food treatment for what I'm doing to take care of myself right now, and I wanted to share that with you. And you can reach me at 408-917-9013 if you want a consultation, or if you just have some questions, and I can help you with diet and lifestyle changes, and maybe you won't have to spend so much money at the doctor's office, okay? Or if you can't get an appointment, I can definitely help you over the phone with making some diet and lifestyle suggestions that might be a lot easier without any side effects, okay? So this is Gloria with Glorious Inspirations, hoping that you incorporate allowing food to be your medicine. Now you have a glorious day.